Okay, time for a new video, and if this is the first video you've seen of mine, then thank you very much for checking it out. It is greatly appreciated. Or if you are somebody who is returning to my channel to watch this video, that is also greatly appreciated. As always, apologies for the average quality, and for the fact that I don't really edit these videos, so if I stumble over my words going forwards, I apologise in advance. First things first, and I will be brief with this, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who viewed my most recent video, in which I spoke about why I believe the Netherlands should win this year's Eurovision Song Contest. I was not expecting several thousand views, quite a lot of comments, quite a lot of likes. Usually I amass about 40 or 50 views per video, and a couple of comments, which is fine, because YouTube is just a hobby for me. It is not something that I am totally devoted to. There are other things going on in my life that arguably are more important. But to have a video that receives that sort of attention, and it's not hundreds of thousands of views, of course, but to have a video that has received quite a bit of attention in the way that that most recent video has, I am very, very appreciative, and thank you to all of the new subscribers. It means a great deal. So, in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the betting odds, the current betting odds of this year's Eurovision Song Contest. And I think at this stage, I don't think you can take the betting odds too seriously. The week of the contest, yes, because they're usually fairly accurate. But at this point, with less than 2 months to go, but still quite a while before rehearsals begin, I don't think you can take them too seriously. I'm certainly not taking them that seriously, but it's well worth taking a look, because these bookmakers are in the know. And certainly, I don't think the odds are going to change a huge amount, but stranger things have happened. So I have the information in front of me, and I'm looking at Eurovisionworld.com, which compares various betting sites. So, here are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. 41 Montenegro, that's not a surprise. 40 Georgia, not a surprise. 39 Latvia, not a surprise. We're looking at odds of 250 to 1. Number 38 is San Marino. Let's not forget that Serhat back in 2016 finished above fan favourite Iceland. Could something like that happen again? Who knows? I'm not ruling it out. San Marino aren't winning, and I don't think Serhat is qualifying. But this song does have quite a lot of support. Will that translate into votes? I'm not sure. I mean, if San Marino do qualify, and I've got nothing against the song, I've got nothing against him, but if San Marino do qualify, which country misses out? And which country will feel very hard done by? Number 37 is Serbia. I think that's really low. I think Serbia's a qualifier at this moment in time. Nevena Bozovic, great singer. It's a fine ballad. Maybe it's not impactful enough. I don't really know. But number 37 of 41 for Serbia, that's low. Surprising or not surprising? Let me know what you think. I think that is quite surprising. Number 36 is Moldova. I think Moldova will do well not to finish last in the second semi-final, so it's a massive step back for them after 2 years of pretty successful results. 35 is Belarus. Yeah, I don't think that's qualifying. 34 is Croatia. It's on the rise. I would not be the slightest bit shocked if Croatia qualified. The song is cheesy and dated, but Rocco does have a pretty good voice, and the juries might love it. It's very jury-friendly, I think. And the public, they might love it too. Remember that Jacques Houdek, 2 years ago, that song, a lot of people weren't sure if it was a qualifier, and then it finished in the top 10 with the public in the grand final. So you can never tell. I don't think this song's a qualifier, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it sailed through. Number 33 is Lithuania. Fair enough. 32 is Austria. I feel as though Austria's entry is very forgotten about. I think it will be forgotten at the contest because it's quite slow-paced. I've listened to some of Penda's I'm still not entirely sure how you pronounce it. Let's just go with Penda, because that's how it's written. I've listened to some of her other songs, and they're very different and very unique. This entry, Limits, feels very tame, very safe. Again, the juries might absolutely love it. They loved Austria last year, but I feel as though Austria fluctuates between good results and very poor results. Will this be a qualifier? I don't know. Austria usually qualifies, but at some point that good run has to come to an end. Let me know what you think. Number 31 is Poland. I'm really not sure about this one either. This is a very different Eurovision entry. It's very fresh and stand out. But I think more people might be put off by it than really love it. So number 31 of 41 here, maybe not too much of a surprise. 30 is Hungary. I'm pretty confident Hungary will qualify. I mean, Yotzi did so well a couple of years ago, and this song is not that much different. So I can see him qualifying. 29 here is Romania. I don't know about Romania. They usually qualify. Last year they only missed out by a few points. Will they qualify this time around? Possibly. But does that mean Malta miss out? Does that mean North Macedonia miss out again? Does that mean that Switzerland miss out? Surely not. But if Romania go through, who does miss out? It's so difficult and hard to work these things out. Everybody's got their own opinion. Number 28 is Albania. Albania is surging with the bookmakers. I can't believe it because I'm not a huge fan of the song. I appreciate it. John Eder, great voice. It's in Albanian, fair play. But I'm just not a huge fan of the song. I'd be surprised if it qualified, actually. I can't see it doing that well in the final if it did make the cut. 27 is Ireland. Now, Ireland, above Poland, above Austria, above Serbia. Maybe that's quite surprising, but the Irish entry, I think, is underrated. I think it's very charming. It's a bit of a dark horse. Saying that, it might completely flop. We just don't know. 26 is Finland. Yeah, I can't see the juries loving that. Estonia, number 25. I think Estonia is in real danger of not qualifying from the first semi-final. It's the sort of song that I think might just feel really underwhelming on the night. Again, I can't see the juries loving it. They certainly didn't in Eesti Laul, so will that sort of occur again in Eurovision on a bigger scale? I don't know. Israel, number 24. It's a pretty poor host nation entry. I can't see that getting too many points. Germany, 23. It's hard to say, of course, but I don't think Germany will finish last in the grand final. I know a lot of people do think that, and definitely this will finish towards the bottom half, I'd say. But I don't think it's the worst song of the year at all. 22 is the UK. Fair enough. The UK will suffer in the public vote because we usually do. What's interesting is that, what with this whole Brexit thing happening, the new deadline for the UK to leave the EU could be pretty much right after this year's competition. So will there be a backlash? Who knows? The press, certainly, if Michael Rice does not get a good result, the press will blame politics straight away because they love to do that. Number 21 is Spain. Fair enough. Spain might well flop again, but that song's too good to do poorly, if you see what I mean. 20 is North Macedonia. That's really quite impressive. The song doesn't do much for me, but I appreciate it. Powerful voice, good message, but ultimately a bit dull. 19 is the Czech Republic. Lots of people are really starting to like this entry, Friend of a Friend. It's one of those songs that won its national final, and a lot of people were disappointed. Now, weeks later, months later, a lot of people are starting to appreciate it more. I like it more than I did. It could well be a qualifier, and I think the juries might like it quite a bit too. 18, Belgium. I'm telling you right now, I think the Belgian entry is wildly underrated by a lot of people. I think it might take people by surprise. Don't rule out Belgium doing very well this year. Australia, number 17. Again, I think that's underrated. It's actually my personal favourite. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll probably be aware of that. Kate Miller-Heidke is a wonderful musician. You should listen to some of her other stuff. It's really good stuff. Number 16 is Azerbaijan. Fair enough. Number 15 is Denmark. Denmark, number 15. To many Eurovision fans, I bet that is quite surprising, but not to me. Again, Denmark, very underrated, very charming, very sweet. Too sweet? Possibly. Too junior Eurovision-esque? Possibly. But the Danish entry is actually really pretty good. And the juries will probably go nuts for it. It's just the sort of thing that I can see qualifying with some ease. But until the contest rolls around, we have no idea, of course. Number 14 is France. I think France are going backwards. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Slovenia, number 13. Slovenia are really on the rise. And again, like the Czech Republic song, an entry that when it was chosen, not a lot of people really seemed to be loving. Now, people are starting to appreciate it more. And the Slovenian song, I think, will qualify. I just hope the staging's a bit better, a bit more interesting. 12 is Armenia, yes. Number 11 is Portugal, fair enough. But I still think Portugal are serious contenders to win, because the song is so different, it's so standout, it's so quirky. People might just find it fascinating, or they'll find it a joke. Either way, Portugal will do very well this year. Then we move into the top 10. And I have to say, I agree with this top 10, pretty much. Number 10 is Norway. The juries might not be so keen on it, but I'm sure it will do well in the public vote. Malta! Malta! Who'd have thought it this time last year? Malta are 9th favourites to win, odds of about 21-1, something like that. Michaela's a great musician, she's a great singer. This is a very current contemporary song. The chorus is a bit of a letdown, but it's so catchy. This could be a massive hit all across Europe. No doubt about it. If this wasn't for Eurovision, and this was by a British musician, and it was promoted on the radio and all of that business, so many people would be loving it. It would go to number 1 in this country. Possibly. Dua Lipa. I can imagine her having a song like this. What a fantastic Maltese entry. You should be very proud of it. And I hope Malta qualify and do well. Greece. 8th favourites to win. I agree with that. It's a very fine song. Cyprus are 7th favourites. I agree with that. I don't think this song will do as well as Fuego, because it's not as good as Fuego. But Cyprus will do very well again. I hope that next year they send something a bit different, though. Italy, 6th favourites. Italy, I am very sure, will do extremely well in the public vote, because Italy usually does. Will the juries enjoy Soldi as much? I'm not sure. But I think top 10 for Italy? Yeah, I think so. 5th favourites are Iceland. Again, this time last year, who would have thought it? Iceland are 5th favourites to win. They're really on the rise. They might well overtake Sweden soon. Hattari, Hatrith mun sigra, hate will prevail. This song, again, it stands out. It's so different. It's in Icelandic. It's a bit controversial, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It will immediately grab people's attention. It's visually arresting. But is it going to be everybody's cup of tea? Because, you know, this is not a super accessible song. It's not pop. It's not rock. It's more techno than anything. And it's all about the staging. So, some people will absolutely love it. Some people will absolutely hate it. I think the juries will be somewhere in between. And I can see this song doing quite well with the public, slightly less so with the juries. So maybe just inside the top 10 in the end. It's a definite qualifier. I think we can say that for sure. Then we have Sweden, 4th favourites. Of course, Sweden will probably absolutely blow the opposition away. I am telling you now, The Melfest results, admittedly that was a smaller international jury, but 12 points across the board for John Lundvik. If that translates into Eurovision on a wider scale, Sweden could be absolutely unstoppable. Will he flop in the public vote? I don't think so. This is a far better song than what Sweden had last year. And he's a very good singer, charismatic, it's very catchy, the backing vocalists are excellent. Sweden will finish in the top 10 once again. Then we have Switzerland. Again. This time last year, who would have thought it? I certainly wouldn't have done. Switzerland are third favourites to win. She Got Me. The song really should be called Dirty Dancing, let's be honest. It's a great song. It's so, again, radio friendly, current, good performer, good singer. I've listened to some of his other stuff. It sounds pretty good. Will it come across well live? I hope so. The Swiss staging hasn't always been superb, but this song is far too good not to do well. And the top 10 beckons for Switzerland, and it would be well deserved. I'm not sure it's a winner though. Then we have the two favourites. Apologies if I'm talking fast. I don't want this video to be super long. Russia. Sergei Lazarev is the second favourite to win. Do I agree with that? No, not really. No, not really. I don't think Russia should be winning this year because I don't think the song's good enough. That's my honest opinion. And I know I'm not the only person who thinks that. But Russia will do well because it's Russia, because so many neighbouring countries are going to vote for them. And Russia could win. Of course they could. But this song just feels like a bit of a disappointment. I was expecting something much more attention-grabbing. I knew it was going to be a ballad, we all knew that. But I was expecting something to really just impress me within the first 20-30 seconds. That didn't happen. Not for me. And I think Russia are generally overrated by the bookmakers every year. This will definitely finish in the top half. It will definitely finish in the top 5. But in terms of winning, I don't think so. His song a few years ago was far better. Admittedly, that was upbeat, but still a far better song. Which means the favourite to win, although it's not quite as clear a favourite as it was this time last week, it's the Netherlands, Duncan Lawrence with Arcade. I agree. I think the Netherlands will win this year. I can't see any other song stopping it. It's a wonderful ballad, and this is the difference. Russia are throwing everything into the performance in Tel Aviv. Do they need it? I'm not sure. The Dutch song doesn't need it. And on the night, we will see which song comes out on top. Will it be the Russian entry with this grand staging, or will it be the Dutch entry with what I presume will be very minimal, more intimate staging? And rightly so. I think the Dutch will win. Simple as that. I agree with what the bookmakers are saying. I've seen loads of people online love the Dutch entry, and it could be their year. It could be Amsterdam 2020, of course. And I don't think any of us can be surprised if that turns out to be the outcome. Some people will say it's dull, but they said that about Portugal 2 years ago, and look what happened. The Dutch song did what the Russian song didn't. It grabbed me within its first 20 or 30 seconds. It drew me in. The Russian song, I got bored by it. The Dutch song, I didn't get bored by it. And maybe the music video played a part, I don't know, but I was just hooked into the video, into the song, into the melody, and I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. So that's it. My thoughts on the current betting odds for this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Let me know what you think. I certainly believe that Serbia are underrated here. I think that Denmark, Australia, they're underrated by the public at the moment. History suggests that one country out of the current top 10 will not qualify. So is that going to be Malta? Is it going to be Iceland? Who knows? Could it be Norway even? And one country from the bottom 10 probably will qualify. So Serbia, I wouldn't be surprised by Croatia, you know. Anyway, I'm repeating myself now, and this is a much longer video than I wanted it to be. So let me know what you think. There'll be links in the description to my other social media pages, my blog and all of that. Take a look if you so wish. And until next time, and by the time I make my next video, maybe the Netherlands won't be the favourites to win anymore. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.